Who made the most Western movies? Who do you reckon it was made the most Western movies? If you say to someone who was a big Western star, you know, I'm pretty sure it's going to be John Wayne. It's going to be the one that most people mention. And then if they're a bit younger, maybe they'll say Clint Eastwood. And then the true diehards are going to say Jimmy Stewart. Made some great westerns. Made videos about his westerns previously. And then you've got Randolph Scott. Have to always mention Stardust when we talk about Randolph Scott, don't we? Beautiful, that beautiful horse that Randolph Scott rode in most of his movies. And of course, I think the thing I have to just chuck in here is that when Randolph Scott finally decided to retire from movie making, his quote was, "I hope I never see another horse again." So who made the most westerns? I wonder if you've come up with the name Tom Mix. There's W.S. Hart, there's some other Western stars from the past. So what sort of numbers are we talking about? Well, Clint Eastwood, what made some classic Westerns, great Westerns. He only made about 15. When I say 15, he's made some movies that you could say, are they a Western genre? And the Mule, could you possibly say is semi-Western? One that really leaps out but that can't really be defined as a Western, but I reckon it is. There's a bank robbery in it, lots of horse riding in it, and that's Bronco Billy. I love Bronco Billy. And since I never was a fan of Sandra Locke, since I did a video on Sandra Locke, I've got a lot more respect for her. I have to say my knowledge was pretty shallow. I thought she was just riding on Clint Eastwood's coattails. And of course that turns out that's not quite true. Anyway, I was supposed to be talking about women and Sandra Locke. Not that you can't have a woman in a Western. The Quick and the Dead, which is of course Fatal Attraction, and let's not go down that path because already I'm only just back from holidays, I'm only just back making videos, and already I can't help but get sidetracked. We're supposed to be talking about who made the most Westerns. And do you know, we will never know for sure. Let's get to the hub of this, because they say that John Wayne made 146 Westerns, so clearly Clint Eastwood 15, Randolph Scott 60 odd, Jimmy Stewart low 20s, John Wayne 146. I mean, way above the rest. But you've got to look at some of those early John Wayne Westerns. Do you ever watch them these days? Be honest, because some of them were downright shockers. They're made just coming out in the 1930s. He's really young. They're just coming out of the silent era, and there's still some aspects of the silent movies associated with them. They're cheaply made. They're not the best sets. 146. That's a lot. Could anyone have surpassed that? Yes, we know Tom Mix made way more than John Wayne. Tom Mix is thought to have made between 200 and 350 Western movies. Why do I say is thought to have? Because we're talking about the start of the silent movie industry, and Westerns, and Tom Mix being a cowboy, a rancher, coming into making these movies. Nobody really gave a lot of thought to history and the future. They used a highly flammable, unstable film source that name momentarily escapes me. I could stop, look it up, come back, edit it. You'd never know that I did that, but I've forgotten. You can look it up if you don't already know. And what happened is, it's estimated that somewhere between 200 and 300 of Tom Mix's movies were all stored in the same place, and they caught fire, they're all gone, and that's why there's no copies, nobody knows where they are, what happened to them. And one of the first movies made in Australia was about Ned Kelly. Don't get me started, go look at my videos about what I think of Ned Kelly. But anyway, even today, when you see this famous Australian movie of Ned Kelly, first movie made in Australia, you can't see the whole movie because the original is lost and the copies that have all been put together to try and make up the movie don't include the whole movie. And that's similar that Tom Mix, all his 200 to 300 of his movies destroyed in a fire, and now we know the movies are lost and we'll never know exactly how many he made. So is Tom Mix the greatest, made the most westerns? I think we would find out yes, but we'll never know. But you know what I think? How about this? How is this a way for working out who made the most westerns? Write down the names of John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart and Clint Eastwood, and then alongside their names, without cheating, without Googling, without wikiing, go through and write their westerns alongside their name and see what you come up with. And is that possibly a guide to who made the most westerns, or certainly who made the most memorable westerns? A few sidetracks, stuff might get cut out. Anyway, this is our first video we have made for YouTube, general YouTube. We've made a couple of other soft, sentimental things for our subscribers, but we're back, the boys back, with a break of several weeks. Until we meet again, cheers.